Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy User. Now, I'm talking through some Madden clips here again, and I'm going to compare them to real life, and maybe what I might do is like a little mini series. But one of the things that I struggle with accepting is Madden's on the PlayStation 5, and it's running on high-end PCs now in the same launch cycle as the consoles. So if if I'm thinking of Madden in comparison to other video games, what this they're capable of doing at this point, we've seen 2K's level of animation quality. We've seen the old Madden's mocap and do things, and we've seen Backbreaker on the PlayStation 3, which I believe is 50 times less powerful than the PlayStation 5, had a full integrated physics engine with physics, weight, strength, momentum, um, all of those things represented. And again, that's on the PlayStation 3. And they still have situations in this game where the AI doesn't understand certain scenarios. So the first clip I want to look at here is actually a goal line situation. Now we're at like the 1 yard line here. I'm talking about the thought process of an interior lineman, a defensive end, um, offensive lineman. This is their goal line defense versus this goal line offense. Now, if you're a defensive end here, you're not thinking of speed rushing upfield to sack a quarterback in the pocket in most situations here. I mean, there's all levels of understanding in football, which is where the awareness rating should come in to help players do this. But in a situation like this, these are 3 or 4 players here, maybe 5 of them are in 4-point stances, which is both hands are on the ground, because their pad levels need to be under these offensive linemen to establish the line of scrimmage. That way they can plug this up for these guys on the back end to be able to come up and fill and meet this dive play that's about to happen. And you could see there's no players back here standing around. There's no one speed rushed upfield. This is a mass of bodies that only a physics engine would be able to replicate, and Madden simply can't do it. So again, these AI like if this was Madden, these linemen can't be just standing straight up and down anymore. There's got to be some level of them programming the game to be smart enough to say, this situation is in this vicinity. We cannot allow our offensive players to block, or they need to add a whole new set of animations. And it's weird, like Madden has had what, 30 years of making this game, so you think they'd have a backlog of data and animation to be able to meet situations like this, but simply they just don't. So this play is going to play out again. It's just a mass of bodies. You see the refs running in to immediately get a spot, stuff that Madden has no clue how to do, and most football games still to this point aren't able to replicate. On the PlayStation 5, it's inexcusable to me. So I stole this clip, and to be honest with you, I don't remember the guy's name, but it was a YouTube short. Here's basically Madden's replication of the goal line. As you can see, they're actually in 4-point stances. Very cool, very fun. But I can't fathom in my head EA sees shit like this and is like, oh, that looks great, because the 4-point stance is immediately neglected with they stand straight up and down. Immediately. Look at this. He's in a full running stride in this empty gap because the AI still doesn't understand how to block, I guess, head-up defenders. But this 60 on the QB sneak actually has the awareness and animation to dive forward, which is what most offensive linemen should be doing in this situation. This guy's pull blocking or something. I can't explain this from football. Like when you talk about Madden and real life football, you've got to do it from 2 different conversation points. Again, he's just running a 40-yard dash here, I guess, into the backfield. The quarterback clearly falls forward. Like these guys had no procedural awareness to understand that it's a goal line situation and to be ready to fill. But from a schema standpoint, they can't, Because in the other clip, you saw these two players would occupy these two gaps, which would then give these guys the ability to read and react off of that to come up and try to fill some stuff like this. But Madden can't do these scenarios yet because they're not programmed to. And in this millennia of gameplay and solid state drives and high-end gaming PCs, like this is I can't believe we as a community just like let this slide. I mean, no one else in the world has played football that dare commentate on this stuff. I can't believe the NFL players don't even speak out on this shit. But again, here's an onside kick. Here's how Madden replicates it. And if you know anything about onside kicks, essentially you would have a line of players on the receiving team and the kickoff team basically going up to kill each other. And this is just another stupid issue that this game has. This kick isn't even 10 yards, and the AI is still programmed to just go and get it and touch it, which if any of you have played football, even at the youth level, they'll make you run laps for hours for that. To me, that's inexcusable programming to this game. Now, here's a better example of Madden. And I stole this clip. I'm just going to be out front. I don't know where it came from, but the dude was talking about the onside kicks. And essentially, if I'm programming this game, you have to do it from the aspect of these three players here shouldn't even be programmed to look at the ball in any capacity because they are coached to basically sprint up here and build a wall and take on as many of these kick-off teams players as they can to clear it so these back line guys can come up and make an easy play on the ball. They're just seeking and destroy missiles, these guys here. The ball comes second, usually on a onside kick situation like this. So essentially Madden, he gets a chance to come up and catch it. Instead of, he high points it, which is just insane because he's going to die here. Madden can't, he can't die because Madden has zero physicality to the game at this point. Immediately as it's kicked, this whole line of players just starts twitching. They don't understand what's going on. There's too much garbage piled on top of year-to-year code that they probably don't understand what's even happening. And this player is just coming up to get the ball. Now, it looked like he just kicked it in the air. I don't think it bounced off the ground here. But if it did, you can't fair catch it, which is why kickers do that. So, good kick by the kicker. I'll give them credit there. But these guys aren't doing anything. I mean, they're just twitching like zombies from Dawn of the Dead at this point. And this player's unfortunately got to go up here and catch the ball at its highest point, which if you're the kick-off team and this guy's not going home in an ambulance, they're all benched because that's immediately how that's supposed to work. So here's, real life, what Madden is based off of, which they have AWS tags, which should be able to replicate all of this data. So as you can see here, these guys are going to attack these guys. This ball can't be touched in this 10-yard window. It has to go past this red line. So there's another couple players back here that are going to come up and try to make a play on the ball. As it's kicked, notice they're not twitching or stuttering, except for this guy who's trying to field the kick. They build a nice little net here for him to secure this ball, but they're coming to attack these players. And that's the beauty of an onside kick. It becomes chaos after that first guy misses it. So that's what Madden should be built to replicate. This situation. So I don't think you can kick the ball like this in Madden because physically the ball is probably not programmed good enough to interact with the ground and the player's limbs and stuff to give you realistic results, which is why you have to play it glitchy. But as you can see, these guys are coming up to meet these players. There's the collision. There's the wall to build this safe catch area. But the ball takes an awkward bounce, which goes for the kicking team to recover it. and then it's chaos. But again, without a good physics engine, you can't replicate a lot of this stuff. And with good programming and understanding of procedural awareness for these players, they have no chance of replicating real football. Now, this last scenario is just something I think's dumb, and I noticed on a dude kicking 110-yard field goals in Madden 24. But as you can see, they're kicking the field goal here. The player's getting ready to mount the ball. Now, anyone who's ever played football knows what's happening here is a flag, and this is the biggest no-no that you can perform maybe in pro football, other than maybe a late hit on a defenseless player or something like that. You cannot engage the long snapper at all, ever. Madden's AI, again, doesn't understand this. And again, let me just check my calendar here. Oh, yeah, it's the year 2024. And it doesn't understand that. Even if this player is playing a defense that shouldn't be on the field for a field goal block, he still should understand I have to attack off tackle because I can't engage this long snapper, the center position. And he's drive blocking him. Like, this is an immediate flag, and they would redo the kick, or they would get a first down or something here. It's a very silly scenario, again, kicking 150-yard field goals or whatever Madden allows people to do with sliders. I mean, I don't know. But just the fact that Clint Odenberg lets these things happen tells me they just don't care about the game. Now, here's a real life scenario. Long snapper, holder. Look at the positioning, though, of these players. This is a college game, not NFL. I know that I'll get pointed out for that, but look at the way that they're playing it. Ball's away clean. He usually holds this position because he will get contacted, but you cannot line up, head up on this player and drive him. Never, ever can you do that in any situation. Now, you can see that the player basically is struggling to hold that spot because he is supposed to, withstand a little bit of pressure from either A-gap, but you can't line up and drive block this guy. But anyway, Madden still can't do basic football fundamentals. Their programmers can't program the game. And to be honest with you, I don't think they've even sat down with any analysts from ESPN, from the NFL. They don't approach any coaches to input anything into this game anymore. And it's an absolute shit show shame that this is the product. And what I'm pointing out is very stupid things. I'll let that slide. But this is on the PlayStation 5 and high-end gaming PCs and the newest Xboxes. I mean, I just can't fathom that they can't. All detail should be amazing. All of it. Every single one. I don't know. It's your boy User, and I'm out.